Here we are.
Here we are, the end of the 2023. How are you feeling?
I made it.
You survived. I know this will like largely be a recap for me because your life, I don't know, you might not even want that. Your life was falling apart this year.
Yes, it was. But we made it.
But it came back together in a wonderful way. And I'm super excited for it. And you even, like, working out kind of became your thing. You're like, I'm just going to hammer it.
As like anger workouts.
We've never done this before, so we don't even know what this is going to be. But we're
Perfect.
Gonna do some best, worst, and some questions.
Beautiful.
The categories are like race, run,
Gear,
video, and video. So just say best, worst, and then whatever you want to start with, and we'll go from there.
Perfect. Worst run. Let's just, get it out of the way.
Worst run. The worst run of the year, and you pipe in too. I know your year was upside down, but if you had a bad run or a good run, definitely pipe in with your experience. The worst run was the Golden Og Loop that we filmed. That one was, I usually don't run that hard, and so I felt awful afterwards because the difference is, Zach, you were a track athlete, and I've never been coached or anything. I'm not even sure what I'm doing is called running at this point, so that was a really hard effort. I don't know if I've put in a harder effort in something in that. And you were there, so you got to, and
it was impressive.
I had to tell you guys, like, I almost knocked my teeth out. I've never jumped over that log at that speed.
Yeah.
Like, I hit the log and it hit my leg, and
we didn't even get to see any of that part from where we were.
Did you have any bad runs this year?
Well, depends on the kind of runs, yes. My kids have been sick a lot lately, so yes, I've been dealing with lots of runs.
Yeah.
Yes, most runs are bad for me because I'm not good at consistently doing it. But as I said in a previous video, I'm incapable so far at this stage of my life of turning off the race mode. So I go out and I try to run as fast as I used to be able to, and then I can't walk for a week. So every run is my worst run until I learn. I tried Zone 2 training. I think we talked about this, and I made it 3/4 of a mile, and I was like, this is awful. I don't know how anyone has the patience for this.
Best run. Did you have a best run this
Nope.
year? No, just all awful. Okay. Best run. I don't know. I don't know if I had a best run. It's hard to think in that way. It's just kind of like okay or bad is where most of my runs is passable. It's usually not.
How about not the run
elation.
itself? How about the environment or like the race you did in the PNW?
Well, I think that's going to get into race. So let's just go to best race, which I think will be the Gorge 50K, because that's been on my list for years to get out there. And my buddy Nick and Deanna and my friend Eric were there, and Nick and Deanna put me up and just had a great time. It was gorgeous, and it was really muddy. The 100K had gone the day before, so it was a well-worn path, and I did almost fall in the gorge at one point. And then that was the first aid station where I saw people. So if I look super excited in that video, it's because I just didn't die just then, like a minute earlier.
That's why it was the best run. There you go. Worst race.
Worst race was Flat Rock. That one, my first DNF, and it was 80 degrees the weekend before, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. And then it was 94, and my fault, I didn't adjust my race plan at all. I felt great on race day, and I was ready to let it rip, and I was dry heaving. I stopped sweating. My fingers were swollen. One or two of those, you're all right, but all three of those, I went, this isn't great. And then I got home and I had to carry my kids upstairs. So, and I could do that. So I feel like I made the right call. It wasn't a super important race to me. I mean, it was well ran. I just didn't do a good job running it. So I think I tried to talk you into that one, and you're like,
You tried to talk me into a lot of races.
I know. Are we going to get you in a race in 2024?
We'll see what happens.
You have a full-time job and a family and a business. So let's just start with there. People are like, this guy doesn't even run. He just talks about running. But you know about running.
I do. I mean, yeah. Maybe one day. Yes, maybe.
One day.
I don't know.
Maybe.
We'll see what happens.
We have a video in the works.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's an anniversary of a really cool record, and I want to pay tribute to that. So I want to start planning that out so we can. That's not gonna happen, but I don't know that if I'd be excited for either or both of those people. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but okay. So that was run and races.
Let's go to video.
Let's go to video. Best video. Let's do worst video first.
Okay.
Worst video was a Bring Sally Up video. I'll just be honest. I put almost zero effort into that. I wanted to do it, and I successfully did the squat one. The push-up one wasn't even close. And with that Insta360, I could have put myself in one frame, so it looks like I'm doing it with myself, which would have been entertaining. But I didn't think about that until after I shot it.
It's the worst.
Yeah, so I put no effort into that one. So it's done. It's going to get me across the finish line for 12 videos this year.
There you go. You did it.
Yeah.
Best video.
The Gorge video turned out really decent, even though I didn't have the 360 camera at the time and my battery died. So I should have just filmed with my phone, but I was fried at the end. And I almost stole ice cream from a kid, because what happens is you're in the trail and then you come out and you like run through town and there's all these food places you're smelling and there was ice cream, and I promise you, I almost stole a kid's ice cream. I was like, I just want real food. But so that maybe honorable mention. Best video is probably Paul's video. We've been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
And to be able to share his story and to walk alongside him was really was good. You know, I actually tried in that one, and so yeah, Paul's video, number
Personal
one.
favorite of mine as well. Gotta love those emotional stories.
It's hard to do that. I'd like to do more, so that's kind of a goal of mine, is to keep pounding the pavement and asking people if they have a story to tell. I don't really have a preference what the story is. It doesn't have to be a life or death story, because honestly, just getting out the door and running is a story worth telling. It's tough.
So if you have a story,
Oh yeah,
leave it in the comments.
yeah. Leave a comment below. I forgot that we can interact with people like that. Just talking to you.
Okay, gear.
Gear. I brought the gear. All right, let's start with the best gear.
Best gear of the year.
I purchased these Brooks gloves, and the reason I like them is they have like a mitt inside of it, and it's windproof, so you can tuck your fingers in. I don't think other companies do this, but this is just the one that I ended up with.
Love it.
All right.
Worst gear.
I don't know if this counts, but these shorts. I won't say
Clearly well used.
I won't say
the tag.
I won't say the brand, but I bought these shorts as a deal because they're like 75% recycled. These aren't a matte finish like normal short. Like they feel like hot pants or something. So I haven't ran in these. I'm assuming they work fine. It's just my own thing about wearing hot, and I wear like 1-inch jorts when I run, so I don't know what my problem is, but something about them being gloss. That's it. Best worst.
Okay, so now on to questions.
Yeah, let's do a couple
And
questions
answers.
before we wrap up.
Just to start off easy, but also a funny experience that if you run long enough, it's probably happened to you.
Yeah.
And also, you do trail running. I did not do a lot of trail running, but I did enough runs that this experience did happen to me as well. How many times this year did you have to stop to have an emergency bathroom escape on the side of the trail?
This year, oh God, there's still a little bit of time left in this year, so
that's
I
fair.
almost feel like I don't want to say it. I think I made it.
The whole year?
Nope, I lied. I just lied to your face. No, there was one. Here's what happens, okay? Sometimes you just have bubble guts. You're like, you know what? I'm going to try to run anyway. I'm going to go to the bathroom twice, and then I'm going to go out. And what happens with me is, this happens all the time, is the first mile is terrible, and then I go, okay, all right, I think I'm going to make it. But then you go past the bathroom, And then at about a mile and a half past the bathroom, you go, oh no.
Regret sets in.
Oh no. So I did, I went past the bathroom, and about a mile past the bathroom, I just went, oh, this isn't going away. So I turned around and was running, and then I had to walk. I was like, this is, So then I was walking, and then I was just like, I just got to go in the woods. And it was hot lava. That ended the run. I walked back to my car and just went home and took a shower and just cried in the shower. It was not a...
There's no recovering from that.
There's not. I mean, I feel like your body just knows, like, no, we're trying not to run today, dude. If you go out there again, we're going to try again. So that was, so yes. So it did happen this year.
What did you learn this year?
I learned I do need to adjust to the situation. So like, for instance, Flat Rock, just make good decisions. And I think I found out I can make good decisions and I can pull the plug. I mean, now I've added another DNF because we did a fun run at our kids' school, and our daughter didn't want to finish. So we didn't get back to the finish line. We just cut and went back to the car. So I have 2 DNFs for the year. So now I'm not afraid of it. I'll sign up for whatever and just quit. I don't even care anymore.
I love it. Any hints or sneak previews as to what's to come in 2024?
Hopefully more stuff like this, like production value. Like I want to try. Like I really phoned it in for a couple years, and so it's fun to do this stuff, to do more interview stuff, and it's just pure entertainment. Or if people watch it and be like, maybe it's just a cautionary tale. Be like, don't do that. Don't try to make a YouTube video when it's muddy or in the gorge or something like that. But
why are you pursuing this YouTube thing? If do you actually? Is there hopes of being famous one day? YouTube famous?
No, I have to do other stuff on camera, and I don't like doing that on camera either. So, no, it's not views or any of that stuff. Part of it is about creating something, which I really enjoy, going from ideation to realizing that idea. And so a lot of it's just doing that and having it not be perfect. So part of, even though Bring Sally Up was terrible, part of it is just doing it and then being like, oh, next time, let's think a little bit more about this. Or the Kansas Prairie, which we need to go run, your old stomping grounds, the microphone died, and so I just had to use the on-camera mic, and I was like, this is terrible, but I still did it, and I think it turned out interesting.
Yeah.
The reason is, aside from that, is my father-in-law passed away a few years ago, and there's virtually no videos of him. Which is kind of wild considering the age that we live in. And so really this stuff is for my kids. It's so that they can have a more well-rounded view of who I am. They can see a different side of me, and hopefully it's a characteristic that they think is admirable.
2 things. 1, the question about you desiring to be YouTube famous feels like a little bit of a setup, because if anyone who knows Ty knows that that's not
possible, because
it's not what he's about. He doesn't. That's not.
I have a face for radio.
The goal of this videos is clearly not self-promotion. If you know him.
Yeah, I have a face for radio and a voice for silent movies. So I don't think it's gonna happen.
2, I think what's actually really cool in light of what you shared is, you shared that your favorite video was Paul. But I think what's interesting is that your kids already know that side of you. Like, if there's anything I know about you, it's that you're one of the most intentional fathers I know, and you're an incredible friend. And so they're going to watch that one and be like, oh, this is the dad I know.
The rest of them will be like, who's that
The rest
other guy?
of it will be like, oh, like my dad was actually incredibly competitive in all these things. Like, and he didn't win, but he tried his hardest.
But he tried really hard.
But I think that's really cool, is that
yeah.
you share that's your favorite one, but I'm like, your kids already know that side of you. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
All right. What are you looking forward to in 2024? Normalcy?
Yes, I was going to say less anxiety, stress, tension. And I think exercise and running can definitely is a huge aid to that. I've kind of, like most people who don't have the crazy drive that you do.
But I think one of the differences, one, grace for yourself, because you just had a tumultuous year. you have 2 full-time jobs and a family. And 2, you were competitive when you were younger. I didn't start running until college. And so I have a very, like you said, I have a very different relationship with running than you do.
Yeah. No, it's fair. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of the hurdle I have to overcome is I started competitive running when I was 10 or 11. And so now it's funny looking at my parenting style now because I'm like not pressuring my kids at all to be competitive when it comes to sports. 1, because I know how much damage it did to me, and 2, the likelihood of the main benefits I want them to gain from sports is camaraderie and working as a team and picking yourself up when you fail and things
Being
like that.
coachable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could care less if they become a professional athlete.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's. I think I'm continuing to learn that lesson, and we'll see how it plays out in 2024.
Yeah. All right. I don't know how to end this thing.